Welcome back to my channel. They call me Charisma. Um, I've been away because of the election. I was very disappointed about the results of that. So I had to work very hard to shake off that feeling from that. So thank you for coming back to see me. I'm glad that you're here. Um, and today I wanted to talk about a video that I saw on Lovely T. Um, and she's a YouTuber that has been around for a really long time. She does great videos. And she was discussing a video that she had been watching from another person that I believe is on TikTok. And this video was from a person who does videos with women, for women, about how to be in relationships, how to get married, how to be a trophy wife, basically. So, first of all, I want to define what a trophy is. Now, a trophy is an award that you receive for a victory or a conquest. That's what Webster says. But you also know that a trophy is something that you win and then you place it on a shelf. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything. It's there for people to admire and to look at. It's there for you to brag about and to tell people that this is an achievement that you have, right? So in this video, the young lady was speaking about her marriage to this man that she had met. This man that apparently is wealthy, is able to take care of her and her daughter. She was a single mother before she met him. Her daughter is 4 years old. And she was talking about how they met, the relationship, and how she thought that this person was a good man, that he presented himself in a particular way, which is what people do when they meet you, right? You don't go out with someone and they, at that first date, tell you about all the horrible things they've done in their life. That's not how it works, right? So she talked about that. And during her speaking of him, she mentioned that she saw some things that, you know, she felt uneasy about, but she ignored them. She was dating him and she felt some things were off, but she ignored those things. Now, I'm going to say that when that happens, I feel like a person is making an agreement to ignore what they know is true. When you are dating someone early in the relationship and things start to feel off, or you notice some things and you don't mention them and you just kind of let it slide, to me, that is you allowing yourself to not be in alignment with what's true. You're ignoring your feelings and painting a false narrative. So she let those things go. And she said that she felt like, oh, this is fine. We can fix these things later. It'll be okay. There's no such thing as fixing a thing later and it'll be okay. Because a lot of times these things that we consider to be small things are really a part of a bigger thing. So they're married. Their life is, lifing or however it is. And so she goes on to say that her 4-year-old daughter, she's helping her change her clothes. And she notices that her daughter is red and the private part of her body looks sore, like something has happened. So she asked her daughter, has anybody been bothering her? And the daughter says yes, that it's the dad. So I didn't, finish watching the rest of it. I've mentioned before that I was previously a Child Protective Services social worker, and I have, had my fill of seeing and hearing and investigating cases like that. And, I just really couldn't take it. And she was very upset, of course. She was crying. And I felt really bad for her and for her child too. Because once that is suspected, once that has happened, and from what she said, this has happened, it is very hard, because now, if this is true, the police have to be called. You should call Child Protective Services. You should have a therapist for your child for however long you need to do that, because this is a thing that changes your life and your child's life. If this is true, the mother should have a therapist as well, because what can happen is parents can begin to blame themselves, and this can create other issues. I think the most challenging part for me is that a lot of times people enter into relationships for these reasons that they haven't really looked at. You think you enter into a relationship because you want to be married, and you don't know that marriage is not the guarantee of someone being in love with you, because it's not called being in love, it's called being married. Being married to someone does not mean that you are with someone who is going to care for your child. It's not called that. It's called being married. And so a lot of times people end up with people that they don't know, that you have left your child or your children with, and your children and your child are not safe with this person. Especially when you've seen something that didn't make you feel comfortable, but yet you continued a relationship with the person. The other part is doing things that you think everybody else is doing. Everybody else is getting married. Everybody else is buying a house. Everybody else is moving to a certain neighborhood. So you must do the thing that can get you to the neighborhood and to the particular house and all these things. In knowing yourself, you can make these individual choices that satisfy you, that are best for you, that make your life good for you, for your child, for your children. And then maybe, almost always, you won't end up in these situations. It was very difficult to listen to have someone who is giving advice to women about how to be a thing that you're not really the thing yourself. So it was almost like the Risa Tisa 121 parts on TikTok. You meet somebody and all of these things kind of fall apart, fall into place, don't fall into place. I just hope that if the situation is what she said it was, that her daughter is fine. If the situation is what she said it was, I hope that the help for her child is taken seriously, and it is paramount. And the most important thing is for the child to get the help that she needs. But the question that I have, because I always have a question, is what type of relationships are you choosing? Are you choosing the relationships that you know are clearly best for you? Or are you sometimes or unclear about what you're choosing? Because it's easy to do. Like she said, I met this guy, I saw some things, but I just kind of ignored them because I said, oh, it would be fine, it'll be okay. And then this other thing happened. Or are you just going along with the crowd? Because that's easy to do too. You have people talk about it all the time, especially about purchases. You hear people talk about how, oh, I bought a house because, everybody was saying I should get a house, and now I wish I hadn't brought a house. They have a whole section, I think, on TikTok about buyer's remorse on houses. So, what type of relationships are you choosing? What are you looking at in your life in relationships that you have noticed? For me, I have looked at my relationships and I have cleaned house on a lot of things. I have resolved things in relationships, made them better for me, for the other person. But definitely, I have gotten very clear about relationships. And I do think that that comes sometimes with age, but it definitely comes with experience and comes with getting clear about what your real desire is and being brave enough to do that thing. So, in the comments, let me know what you think. Please click like, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.